Hey, my name is Brian, that is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and we are talking about a community movie, possibly. And if you're a fan of Community, like we are, that is some good news, because the actors and actresses are all still relatively young, except for Chevy Chase, which he probably won't be back anyways, let's be real.
He's probably not coming back anyways.
No.
So. Yeah, this is actually pretty interesting news. Now, I know that we've heard this a lot over the last couple years. Like, it pops up every once in a while.
Right.
What about a community movie? What about a community movie? And there's been the kind of a little bit of hype around it. But there's some differences. This news is different because there are differences. And what we'll tell you is what we're about to give you is going to give you so much confidence that a movie is actually coming. And I think we can just kind of break it down, right?
Yeah. I cut the music so that we can really deep dive.
Deep dive, yeah. So the first thing is that Joel McHale, the story came out because he's the one who said it's more likely now to happen than before. But what he says gives us some credence. But what we're going to tell you from Mark Harmon is actually what gives you the real confidence that a movie's coming. But Joel McHale basically admitted that when people were asking him about a movie before, he was essentially just kind of lying about it.
Right.
He would just say things like, I used to just say, people would be like, is the movie going to happen? And I'd be like, yeah, sure. I think things are in place. People are like, we're game. We'll have the money. So I think like a pizza. There's cheese being made. Someone's got flour. There's water over here. This guy has an oven, and it could all come together or never come together. Right? So he was actually just kind of saying it, but now the buzz is a little bit stronger. And even though this article doesn't really talk about why that is, what I have discovered is that Dan Harmon actually gave us information about this through a podcast he did that actually tells us more deep down of the fact that this is going to become a movie, Brian. Ooh. It's going to happen.
Oh, awesome.
What he said. Yeah, Dan Harmon, you know how he is. He's very creative. He's, of course, Rick and Morty. He's got a different kind of brain. If you watched Community, if you're a Community fan, it was not just a regular sitcom TV show. It was very artistic.
Yes.
So he talks a lot about it, but the essential thing he says is the reason why we know he's going to actually write this thing is what changed for him is that he knows every week he's now thinking about this. So he said, originally he started writing to keep his parents from hitting him. It's kind of sad. And now he writes to feel valid.
Nice.
And what he noticed he's been doing lately is he's actually been thinking about a community movie every week. And he says the gears are starting to grind to a point where he's actually thinking about like what the story is going to be and how it's going to happen. The fact that he's thinking about a community movie every week means that he's going to see this through. If we know anything about Dan Harmon, this is how he works.
Right.
And so the fact that he admitted that he's thinking about this thing weekly means it's going to happen. And I got to tell you, I can't think of, there may be some studios that would pass on it, but the fan support for this show is so huge that it's going to get picked up by somebody.
Right.
And so this is coming, guys. It's going to happen.
Yeah, and most of the actors and actresses, they ain't doing much. So it really shouldn't be a problem. And the stuff they are doing, coincidentally, is like on Netflix, where I'm sure that's where the community movie would be anyways. Because of Dan Harmon's relationship, Joe McHale's relationship, Allison Brie's relationship with Netflix.
Yeah, Danny Putty is in Mythic Quest, I think, right?
Right, that's on iTunes.
Allison Brie did Glow.
And Glow is great. What a great show.
Glow was good.
That's a fantastic show. But Joe McHale was doing the Joe McHale show, which was sort of a redux of his original show, like on E! Or whatever, or Bravo or something. And he was doing it on Netflix. Like, it was like the same show, but it was on Netflix. It didn't work as well because instead of being a weekly show, it was like released in like episodes. They should have made it a weekly show, but I don't think Netflix has that model.
Okay.
And the whole point of the Joel McHale show was a weekly sort of recap of news. It was like the first kind of YouTube show. It was very similar.
Right. That's true.
But he has a good relationship with Netflix. So does Harmon. So does Allison Brie. I've seen other actors. You know, the hardest actor to get back would actually be Chen, whatever his name is. Oh my gosh.
Chevy Chase?
No, Chevy Chase ain't coming back for sure. I'm the Asian guy. What's his name?
Oh, dude. I could have told you that as soon as
Yeah, I know.
Dr. Ken Jeong.
Ken Jeong. Yeah, it would be hard to get him back, I think, because
Not for a movie.
maybe not for a movie, but he has definitely grown way past the community.
Yeah. I think he would come back for a movie. Let's see. He's currently a judge on The Masked Singer, so that might make it a little bit difficult. But they do talk about the fact that they all want to do it. If you go back and take a look at Yvette Nicole Brown, she's on the record as saying that they do they have a reunion like every morning. They have a group text that she says is popping.
Really?
They joke and laugh with each other randomly. And they just have these like moments together. They're still close. Everybody but I guess Chevy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So that's cool.
They didn't get along with Chevy Chase.
Well, Chevy Chase was famously not easy to get along with. So
yeah. So this is looking good. Aside from Joe McHale's comments and Dan Harmon comments, even the rest of the crew, they remember the show fondly. And I don't feel like they got a proper send-off with that weird Yahoo season 7 and whatever it was.
Or season 6, yeah.
Or season 6. Because it was on Yahoo.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's 7, right?
It was 6.
Was it?
Yeah, 6th season was Yahoo. The Yahoo screen is what they called it, which, by the way, is now dead. Like everything else Yahoo does. It's amazing how Yahoo was like the biggest thing, ever in the 90s when the .com, thing went crazy all the way up till 2000. Yahoo was it. But since 2000, Yahoo has done nothing but destroy itself. Buying Tumblr, trying this Yahoo screen. They've tried to do all these things, but Yahoo's a bust. And unfortunately, Community couldn't get a 7th season because, Yahoo went bust on this.
Right. Yeah.
But the story was wrapped up.
Story was wrapped up, but I felt like it was definitely wrapped up a little bit rushed because I feel like they knew that they weren't going anywhere past the Yahoo screen or whatever it was.
Right.
Yeah. What does it say? It says Yahoo underwent a $42 million write-down. Oh my God.
Yeah, dude. They just keep throwing money away. I think Yahoo Finance is like the only thing keeping them going. So many people are subscribed to that.
Yeah. Future opportunities for Community via their partnership with Sony. Interesting. So, yeah, that would be interesting. Anyways, that's awesome. I would love a decent movie spinoff. Man, I mean, if it's popular on a streaming service, it can actually spawn a series of movies.
It could. The thing that Dan has been struggling with is the story. The reason why this hasn't already been done is he's afraid. He's nervous. He doesn't want to make a show, and he's so artistically minded. He doesn't want to make a show that is like just a recap or a rehash of what happened during the TV show. He wants it to be something that if you show up and you watch a movie, even if you never saw the series, you're like, wow, this movie is so good. I'm now going to go watch the series.
Right.
That's what he wants. Something that will stand on its own, but also be a flavor, for people in the past. He wants both.
If anybody can do it, it's Dan Harmon. I'll tell you why. Because there's an episode of Community called The Darkest Timeline that is absolutely epic. It is like science fiction done right. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's literally science fiction inside of a TV show about a community college.
Yes, I remember that.
All right.
It's interesting. We'll see what happens, but it's coming. You can listen, if I'm going to bet on something, like if I could put money on this stock, I would put money on this stock. I'd be all in.
All right. Well, that's good news because Shane only bets on winners when around the turn of the century when he bought shares of Yahoo.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. I actually was going. I have a whole story about that, but this is not a Yahoo video. It's a really good.
All right, that's it.
Could have bought Yahoo at 22. Yes,
you could have. Let us know what you think about a community movie. I don't know why I got tongue-tied there. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section below, and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and on the way out, I'm gonna hit this little button right here.
The show to end? Become a podcast member by hitting the join button to get exclusive content, including special member live streams, Discord privileges, behind the scenes access, and so much more. Click join and let's hang out.